Welcome to the Fit Dad Nation podcast, forging strong fathers and raising a stronger generation. It's time to get up or shut up with your host, Steve Roy.
Hey guys, this is Steve Roy, host of the Fit Dad Nation podcast. Welcome to the show. I appreciate you listening. So before we jump into the episode, I want to invite you, if you're a dad, you're listening to this show and you're not happy with your fitness level, your health, your body, whatever it is, and you're struggling, I invite you to join our free private community on Facebook at fitdadnation.com/community. About 800 men in there right now. A lot of good things happening there. It's a great way to connect with other guys trying to do the same things you are. So today I want to talk about something that's as big as it gets when it comes to the fitness industry, and that is diet. So this is a frustration for me. Over the last 5 years or so, I've run tons of surveys. I've answered hundreds of emails, comments, all relating to diet. How do I eat better? What do I eat? There's just so much fucking confusion when it comes to eating healthy foods and losing weight because of it. So I'm going to do my best today to kind of keep it simple. I want to break things down. Obviously this is a massive, massive topic, and there's no chance a single podcast episode can cover even just a fraction of it. But I just want to kind of break things down a little bit, the way I look at nutrition. So I look at it a little bit differently than a lot of people. A lot of people get overwhelmed, they get confused. They're constantly searching for something else, something better. Doctors, MDs, PhDs, coaches, Instagram people. Everyone's got their own opinions on how to eat and how to best lose fat, right? And so it's extremely overwhelming. So I tend to just tune 99% of that garbage out because that's exactly what it is. So, it's not a surprise that, the key to losing fat, how we feel, our general health, and everything. There's so many other things are tied directly to what we eat, right? So we all know this. This is not news to anybody. We all know that our diets are extremely important at all of this stuff. So my question is, why the fuck is it so hard to lose fat and keep it off? Why is it so hard to eat healthy, right? I mean, it's crazy to me because you look at the stats, 60 some odd percent of the U.S. overweight, 30 some odd percent obese, right? And it's lifestyle and diet. Okay, we know this. So first off, I'm going to tell you, what you don't need more of is information, okay? You don't need more recipes. You don't need a meal plan walking you through every single meal. You don't need any of that. Can you get it? Sure. Can it help some? Sure. Is most of it a waste of time? Yes. Think about the last time you searched up healthy recipes or meal plans, right? You're going to get bombarded with advertisements, people trying to sell you shit. And it's really just, I won't say common sense, but kind of common sense. There's more to it, of course. But here's the thing, and I want you to understand this. You already know how to eat healthy. You just aren't doing it. Okay? Just think about that for a second. You have every piece of information you'll ever need to live a very healthy lifestyle, to eat an extremely healthy diet, to lose all the weight you want to lose, to be as fit as you want to be. All of that is you already possess all of that. But we're constantly looking for something else. Okay? We're constantly taking the responsibility off ourselves, putting it somewhere else, which is why we are fucking fat. So I'm going to go through a few things. And this is how I view nutrition. I'm not saying that this is right. I'm saying it's just a simple way to look at things, and it's helped me. I'll be 49 here in a couple weeks, next week. And, I keep pretty fit, have for a very long time. And, it's because I just focus on a few basics. Basic number one, the very first principle of all this, and I talk about this on social, it's don't eat like an asshole. Think about it. I mean, it's really that simple. Okay? You know what's good for you. You know what's bad for you. you don't fucking do it, right? And it's because we are, and I'm not calling out you specifically, but as a society here in the U.S., we are lazy and we are apathetic towards all this shit, right? Because switching up your diet, making the changes you know you need to make takes work, right? If you want to change your results, you have to change what you're doing. But most aren't going to do it. I mean, I get it, right? We're busy dads. We have a million things to do already. The last thing we want to do is go shopping for healthy foods, go home, prep it, cook it, eat it, repeat, right? It's 10 times easier just to eat the food your wife cooks or whatever is thrown in front of you, right? And if that's, if you're fine with that, then that's okay. I'm not here to judge you, but if you're not, if you want to change and you're struggling, which is the case for a lot of men, you have to change something, okay? You have to get that through your head. You have to change. It is not going to happen. No magic diet, pill, book, supplement, anything is going to fall into your lap and change that for you. You're just going to have to make some changes, okay? And when you find something that works for you, stick with it. And I've said this before, is when you find an approach to eating, and I hate to call it a quote-unquote diet, because that implies something temporary. We don't want something temporary. We want something permanent. It has to have a couple of things. It has to be healthy. It has to get results for you. And it has to be, and most importantly, sustainable. So those three things have to be present if you're going to succeed on your diet or on your approach to nutrition. Okay, just think about that. Okay, and I know we're up against some heavy hitters, a lot of marketing, but mostly we're up against fast food and sugars. I think those are probably the two biggest offenders, right? Fast food is extremely delicious. It's very quick. It fills us up. We feel good. We feel good when we eat it. Same with sugars. It leaves us wanting more. We're craving all of those things. I've been there many times. I was hooked on different things from Red Bulls to Snickers bars to Monster Zeros, Dr. Peppers. I've had issues with all of those things in the past. Yeah, they're tough as shit to get off of. So when you take a look at this, I don't want you to think about, well, Steve says I can never have a Dr. Pepper again. I can never have Snickers. That's not at all what I'm saying. Is, I would say the best approach that I've found is take it 1 week at a time. For the next week, I'm gonna skip my afternoon Snickers bar, and that was for me when I was working my desk job and I was just hating life. My kind of reprieve was I'd go out for a walk, take out of my office, and I'd walk around downtown for a while, and I'd always make my way over to a little convenience store in the corner, and I'd buy a Red Bull and a Snickers bar. And I look forward to that so much every day. 1:30 is going to come. I was right around 1:30 or 2, I think. I just couldn't wait for it. I would get so excited to get there. And then once I started eating it, it was just like magic. It was amazing, right? Of course, you feel like shit afterwards. There's the crash, that comes with it. But I was hooked. Those things had their hooks in me. So it wasn't like I'm never going to do this again. I would say next week, I'm just not going to have that Snickers bar. And then if I make it through the week, then I say, okay, now I'm going to not have the Red Bull. Whatever it is, I would say take it a week at a time. Don't try to go all or nothing. That rarely works. It can work for certain personalities that are like that. But for a lot of people, you start feeling like you're resentful, you're pissed off, you're angry, and you have cravings because you're like, all I want is this, but I can't have it. And that's just what we want, right? We're a society. We're entitled. We want things when we want them. We don't want to be told what to do. We don't want to be told we can't eat something, okay? Same goes with alcohol, right? A lot of us dads, we drink. Drink beer for the most part, but a lot of us drink beers. That's not a bad thing necessarily, but when you're trying to lose weight, trying to lose fat, those extra calories, even if it's light beer, add up. I know a lot of guys. I'm friends with a lot of guys that drink 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beers a day, just like, it's like water. It's not like they're getting drunk. It's just, they're used to drinking it. That's their beverage of choice. But, it's a lot of empty calories. There's nothing there that's going to help you. So you have to be mindful of that. Okay. And I'd say, I think one of the keys to making this all come together is just keep in mind that eating healthy, like I said, you already know what you're doing. Keep it extremely overly simple. Just as simple as you possibly can. Stick to a few meals if you can, if that works. I rotate only a handful of foods throughout my weeks because I just don't want to put in the time to go out and research a bunch of new stuff, go out and buy a bunch of ingredients, try to figure out how to cook it. I have other things to do, and I know you do too. I do it once in a while, but typically I'll stick to very boring meals. Like I'll have a 3 or 4 egg omelet with some cheese and either some like Greek yogurt or some berries for breakfast. Lunches, sometimes I'll have just a bunch of greens with a rotisserie chicken. That's, I'll buy a whole rotisserie chicken for $5 and just eat all that meat. And then dinner, the same thing. I'll have, potatoes and steak and some vegetables or something like that. So it's just a handful of things, but it's just simple. All right, if you're always wondering, well, I'm going to make this fancy dinner. And if you like it, great. If you want to do it, absolutely. But keep it super, super simple. Okay? You can't go wrong with foods that have one ingredient. Okay? A potato is a potato. An egg is an egg. Right? You look at a box of Rice Krispies, it's got, 76 ingredients. So, be smart about that. I mean, you know what the healthy things are. Where are they? A perimeter of the store. You already know that. Okay? So, couple of ideas for you. So first, I would say try eliminating just one thing. And actually there's something called the elimination diet, which, basically has you eliminate one thing from your diet over time. Like I don't know exactly what it is, but, let's call it one a week, one every 2 weeks. And you're slowly removing things that can be offenders, whether it's gluten or dairy or whatever it is. And that can really work well. But if, you're not doing something structured like that, just pull one thing out of your diet that is holding back your progress. If you've been just sucking down 4 Cokes a day, next week commit to 3. Only 3, right? You're not going to kill yourself doing that. Okay? Something as simple as that. And again, slow steps here. Okay? And this is, something that's so funny to me is I get guys asking me all the time, I need, Steve, what really helped me is, if I just had more recipes, I think that would really help me lose fat and get on track. And I'm like, no, that's not your fucking problem. I just Googled healthy recipes and it came up with 2,250,000,000 hits. That's one of the most widely searched for terms on the entire internet. So you don't need more recipes. And like I said, even if you did, keeping it simple is a much better choice. Okay. And I want to talk about fat loss a little bit. So we know that the main goal for most of us dads, 30s and 40s and beyond, our goal is to lose fat. A lot of times it's lose belly fat or it's back fat. You want to add more muscle. You want to look better. You want to feel better. You have more energy, right? A lot of those things are tied directly to what you stuff in your mouth. Okay? So it's no surprise when I say you need to eat fewer calories than you need to lose fat, right? And that's it. Now, I will say that social media, gurus, trainers, coaches, experts, everybody has come out of the woodwork talking about this and just like really dumbing it down, I think even too much, where all they're talking about is the numbers. So, if you just, eat less than you require, you'll lose fat. right? That's all you need to know. If you eat let's say you eat 2,000 calories worth of Pop-Tarts and then you have 2,000 calories worth of eggs, it's the same 2,000 calories. If you need 2,200 calories to maintain, well, the 2,000 calories is a deficit, and therefore you'll start losing weight, right? Does that make sense? Yes and no. It does, in fact, work that way, meaning if you undereat, regardless of what you're putting in your mouth, you will lose weight. But you just have to please remember that the quality is extremely important, okay? Everybody wants to talk about quantity, quantity, quantity. There are no bad foods. Eat whatever you want. You can eat all these things as long as you're eating less than what you need. And yes, in theory, you will lose weight. But that's, one is you're probably not going to be losing the right kind of weight. And it's not healthy. I mean, it's just not healthy. But people just love to talk about this. And some of these big diet programs love to talk about this, the fact that, well, you can eat whatever you want and still lose weight. Well, of course you can. But that doesn't mean it's good for you. I mean, are you gonna sacrifice your health to lose a few pounds? That makes no sense, right? Sure, you're thinner, you fit in smaller clothes, but you feel like shit, right? Your numbers, your blood work is gonna suck, right? It doesn't make any sense. So I want you to think about that. So I use something called the Harris-Benedict formula. And there's actually a bunch of free calculators online, but I use it for my clients. Just Google it. You'll find a few different calculators. It'll tell you how many calories you need to maintain your current weight based on your age and your height, weight, and activity level. And then you multiply it by activity factor. And then you reduce that if you're trying to lose weight by a certain percentage. I typically reduce it 15 to 25% for weight loss. That's really it. So once you have those numbers, then you need to know how you're going to track them. And so, an app like MyFitnessPal works fine. Track it for a week. It's not fun, but I do advise it for most people. Try it for a week. See what you're putting in your mouth. Most people are way off when they try to calculate or guesstimate how many calories they're eating. They're way off. So you'll figure it out. Because if you need 2,000 calories a day to lose weight and you think you're eating a lot less than that, but once you start calculating, you realize it's a lot more, then yeah, this is why you're not losing weight. Okay? I mean, it's really that simple. So, I mean, I have a whole podcast episode on tracking calories. I'll link to it below. Hopefully that'll help you. But yeah, so the bottom line here, guys, and part of this is a rant, but it's so frustrating to see and hear, week after week, month after month, and year after year of guys still struggling with the same shit. I need some ideas. I need a meal. Can you set me up with a meal plan? No fucking way. I'm not setting you up with a meal plan. First of all, you're never going to follow it. And second of all, you don't need it. Just make better choices, right? Stop eating packaged foods, fried foods. Stop at the grocery store or the convenience stores and buying junk, right? Cut out sodas and things are filled with garbage, right? Replace it with, let's think, what are some good foods? Lean proteins, right? Vegetables, fruits, nuts, different types of oils, okay? You can't go wrong with those things. If you can comprise 80, 90% of your diet of those things, you can afford to eat the rest, and you're going to be fine, okay? Our diets seem to be filled with Panera sandwiches, big gulps, Cheesecake Factory, Kit Kats, right? That's what we eat. That's why we are fat, okay? You know this. Stop doing it, okay? It's crazy to me. So anyway, I hope this helps, guys. I just want you to really understand the simplicity behind this. Please take responsibility, okay? That's something that's missing in our society, okay? We want what we want when we want it, and we don't want to work for it, okay? That's a problem. You have to make a change. You have to make better decisions, and you have to absolutely 100% own your situation and realize that you're the only one that's going to make yourself better. You're the only one that's going to help get that weight off. Stop searching the internet. Stop looking to Instagram gurus, guys with six packs. just start eating good foods, control how much you're stuffing in your mouth, track your calories, and that is a phenomenal start. Okay, guys, if you need help, if you have any questions, okay, you can always reach out to me in the blog or steve@fitdadnation.com. You can also join us in the Inner Circle, which is our private membership program. We do a lot of stuff in there that will help you as a dad. Weekly calls, we have monthly challenges. There's all kinds of content in there to really explain this stuff and help you with it on a day-to-day basis so you're not constantly searching for random things on the internet. Anyway, guys, I hope this helps. I'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, if you want more information, check out the Fit Dad Basecamp group on Facebook. And don't forget to stop by fitdadnation.com. Until next time, keep kicking ass and taking the next step. You can do this, Dad.